Welcome to Dirt Road Discussions, the podcast where we're all about agriculture all the time, broadcasting from the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation headquarters. We introduce you to people from all over the country who are keeping agriculture growing strong. Whether you're a seasoned farmer or just someone curious about where your food comes from, you're in the right place. So let's take a journey down the dirt road.
Hey friends, and welcome to the podcast that's fresher than a bouquet picked at sunrise, Dirt Road Discussions. I am your host, Cam Hammond. I'm excited, as always, to be joined by my co-host, Mr. Ott Clark. How are you, Ott?
I'm good. Very good.
Glad
Better
to
than
hear
that,
it.
even.
Better than good.
Better than good.
Love it. We are going to have a better than good day here on the Dirt Road today, but to our listeners out there, thanks so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the stories, conversations, and the occasional flower puns as much as we enjoy bringing them to you. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Dirt Road Discussions podcast, dropping every other Tuesday. Okay, Ott, got a question for you. When was the last time you bought some flowers?
Oh, man. My mom and dad actually just had their 50th anniversary a couple months ago. So I bought my mom and dad a set of flowers for that celebration. So
congrats to them.
It wasn't super long ago. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, pretty cool people. Jack, Merle, you guys rock.
You guys
Best
are
parents
awesome.
ever.
And you survived Ott as your son. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding, Ott, but
I was a dream.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Just a good kid all around,
Yep.
all the time.
Yep. Just a blessing in their lives.
I was hoping that, you would have said, I bought some flowers. My wife,
Yeah.
would your wife say that you bought some flowers recently, or has it been a while?
I think I did some for Mother's Day as well.
Okay.
I usually buy 2 or 3 bouquets a year worth of flowers. I feel like I do okay in the flower department.
Smart man.
You?
Yeah.
For Father's Day, you
same
bought
as
yourself some?
I did. I got myself some for Father's Day and Flowers Day.
Yeah.
Huh?
Why not?
But smart man. Flowers are one of those things that can get you out of trouble, help you celebrate a milestone, and earn you a few extra points at home.
You bet.
Yeah, so most people don't spend much time thinking about where those flowers came from or the work that goes into growing them. So odd, would you say that people probably don't think of flowers as agriculture?
I think it's pretty low on their list when they're thinking of ag. I think they're thinking cornfields for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. But behind every bouquet is a farmer dealing with weather, with pests, irrigation, marketing, and the same challenges that come from growing any other commodity. And that's what I love about agriculture, is that there are so many ways to make a living from the land. Some people grow food, some people raise livestock, and some people grow beautiful things.
Yeah.
So today, we're going to be talking about what it's like to start and operate a flower farm, and how the fresh cut flower industry works, and what it takes to turn seeds into a successful business. But before we do that, we've got to stop and smell the roses.
Ooh.
Huh?
Your first, I don't know if that's a pun or just a figment of like a way to talk.
Play on words.
Okay.
Yes. We're going to put you in the hot seat with another episode of Ott Shop.
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to put the pedal to the metal.
That's a pun.
It was a pun.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. So, all right, Ott. We're going to be talking about the fresh cut flower industry. So I'm going to ask you some flower related questions. It sounds like right up your alley.
I'm excited.
You're feeling blooming confident, I bet. So.
It's terrible.
I don't.
Keep going.
All
Get
right.
us out of here.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What is the most popular flower sold in the United States for bouquets and arrangements?
Roses. Roses.
Wow, without even the multiple choice.
Oh,
Correct.
I don't want multiple choice on that one.
Good job. Yeah, millions of roses are sold every year,
Okay.
especially around Valentine's Day
You bet.
and Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So,
The women love them. And a lot of men.
there you go.
There you go. Why not?
Question number 2, true or false? Most fresh cut flowers sold in the United States are actually imported from other countries.
Oh, man. False.
Ooh.
True.
Ouch,
Really?
that one is true.
I
Yeah.
didn't believe it.
So this says a large percentage of fresh cut flowers come from countries such as Colombia and Ecuador, some
Wow.
of those South American countries. So,
That's a long
okay.
drive for a flower.
It's quite the journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. What flower is known for turning its bloom to follow the sun throughout the day.
I believe that would be a sunflower.
Correct. Yeah.
No multiple choice needed on that one either.
No, you nailed that one. So the young sunflower plants track the sun from east to west in a process called heliotropism.
I did not know that. I'm glad that wasn't the question.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then I learned a new word today. So, all right, question 4. Approximately how many days can a properly cared for bouquet of fresh cut flowers last?
Oh, man. Fresh cut.
Do you need some guesses here?
Yeah, I'd like some to narrow down a little.
All right, we're going to go 2 to 3 days.
Okay, more than that.
5 to 10.
Yeah, that's probably closer.
15 to 20. Or a month.
I'm going to say that C.
No.
Oh, B? Is
It's
it B?
B. It's
Oh,
B.
man.
5 to 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah, fresh water and trimming stems can really extend the vase life.
You got to do that.
Bouquet of flowers. So, all right, we got one more and then a bonus question.
Okay.
Okay, what is a major advantage local flower farms have over imported farms?
I feel like you're extending that 5 to 10 days into slightly longer because you're getting those extra, you're not moving all the way from Ecuador.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah, the freshness, right?
You got to get those local.
Got to get them local. 100% correct. Okay. All right, we're chugging along here. I should
Bonus
say.
question. Let's hear it.
All right, bonus question. This one's Idaho specific here. What is the state flower of Idaho?
Oh, that would be the syringa.
Correct. What year did it become Idaho state flower?
That would, of course, be 1899. No.
But good guess.
1948.
1931.
Oh, man. If I just had another 100 question or answers, I would have got there for sure.
No doubt you would have gotten there eventually.
Yeah.
Right. But hey, syringa, that's correct.
That is correct.
The syringa. All right, Ott, not bad. I wouldn't say you rose to the occasion, but you did okay.
Oh, man. I just need to ask this question. Cameron, what is your wife's favorite flower?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Man, this is bad.
I need this on.
I don't think we can have this in the episode.
Yep, this is for sure airing.
Okay.
It may be its own episode.
So, weddings, right?
Okay.
I do remember my wife's bouquet at our wedding.
Okay.
And she talks about that bouquet all the time. They were purple, like light purplish roses, and they had some baby breath in there.
Man.
It was really pretty. That was probably the only detail I remember from that day was her bouquet. But anyway, she really loved her bouquet, and it's something that she is reflected back on. And I always thought that was cool, just how important those flowers were to her on her big day. She had to get married to me, which was the unfortunate thing. But
at least you got her some
were
nice
good.
flowers.
So anyway,
It wasn't a complete loss of a day. That's good.
Yeah. Favorite flower? Yikes, I don't know.
I'll shout out to my wife. Stargazer lilies is what she told me 20 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still her favorite flowers, but it was at one point. So that's babe, this is for you. I knew about flowers and Cameron doesn't. So
he remembered
appreciate
too,
me,
20 years
honey.
later.
Appreciate
Good for
me.
Ott. Yeah. Nicely done. Ott, in all seriousness, flower farming is a fascinating part of agriculture. It's equal parts farming, creativity, marketing, and entrepreneurship. And unlike many commodities, you're not just selling a product, you're often helping people celebrate some of life's most meaningful moments. And reminding us that some of the most beautiful things in life start with a seed, a lot of hard work, and a lot of patience as well. So let's dig into the world of flower farming right here on Dirt Road Discussions, where every bump tells a story. All right, we are pleased to be joined today by Beth Brinkerhoff. Beth is the owner of Teton Flower Farm, located in beautiful Victor, Idaho, and it is a fresh-cut flower operation that's bringing beauty and locally grown blooms to customers throughout the region. So, Beth, thank you so much for joining us here on Dirt Road Discussions, and how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. We're excited to talk flowers with you today, but before we do that, tell us a little bit more about yourself, and did you grow up in Victor?
I did not grow up in Victor. I grew up in the Midwest, helping my mom grow her flowers, doing all that. That's where it started. And yeah, I'm a mom of 3. I have a degree in horticulture. And I've just always been drawn to flowers and plants and growing. It's just been a passion of mine since I was a kid, and now I get to do it for a living, and it's amazing.
Awesome.
Beth, you said you grew flowers with your mom. Was it in like a commercial way, or was it just in the flower garden out front of the front door?
Yeah, just around the house kind of thing. Yeah, very small.
Okay, my first real question. What's your favorite flower, Beth?
Dahlias.
Dahlias.
Are you familiar with them?
Big old bloom, right? That's their kind of selling point.
Yeah, so dahlias are really unique in that there's so many different sizes. Some of them are like dinner plate dahlias where they can be the size of a plate. And then there's some that are pom-pom dahlias that are the size of a quarter. And there's lots of different colors and different petal textures, and they're the best.
Is there anything really is there anything else about them that you love? Like, is there a fun fact about dahlias in specific?
So dahlias also grow tubers. So one of the best parts of them as a flower farmer is that they reproduce tubers every year. So it's kind of like a potato. We dig them up every fall, and they're like a big clump of like little potatoes all together, and they're all attached to this one little crown. And you can go and divide them, and then each one of those little tubers will turn into a huge dahlia plant and produce more blooms and flowers the next year. So it's pretty cool.
It's the gift that keeps on giving then, right? That is pretty dang cool.
Yeah, and the best thing about dahlias is they don't like being out of water. So they're really hard to ship from other countries. So even if florists are doing most of their orders from getting their flowers from other countries, they'll always do dahlias local because you have to order so much more when you get them from other countries because they just don't ship well. Yeah. So, yeah.
So dahlias would be a good option. Like if I get in trouble with my spouse, they would be a good option as far as be like, hey, I'm sorry, even though you were wrong. just kidding.
Yeah, a terrible way to start.
I know that probably wouldn't go very great. But yeah,
I wouldn't suggest that. But yeah, dahlias would be the way to go.
Okay, duly noted. Yeah. Don't start with that, but finish with the dahlias. So okay.
All right, Beth. A couple more like entry level questions. You live in one of the coldest places here in the state of Idaho. How are you guys growing flowers out there?
Yeah, the climate here is really challenging. We're technically a zone 4, but a lot of zone 4 things don't come back if we have a harsh winter. So I just like to think of it as a zone 3. So we grow our dahlias mostly in greenhouses. And we have like an outside growing area, so we will grow flowers outside as well. And if it gets a frost, like last year we had a frost almost exactly this time of year. So we had to tunnel everything and hoop it to protect them. It's a challenging place to grow flowers, which also kind of makes it even more special. At least to me, they feel more special to me because we work so hard to keep the frost and the cold away from them. Dahlias, like I was saying, we're kind of known for our dahlias, and they don't like it anything under like 40 degrees. So they're difficult to grow here.
Yeah.
So.
No, I can only imagine just a short growing season in your neck of the woods and just constant work as far as, of course, raising the flowers, but also you've got to be a meteorologist and anticipate climate change or the climate switching it up on you and whatnot. But we'll jump back into that, Beth, but I just have to ask, so you grew up in the Midwest, love flowers growing up. how in the world did you get to Victor? And then what was the story behind like, well, let's make a shot, or let's take a shot here with growing some beautiful flowers?
Yeah. So my husband, we weren't married yet, but he started working in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, just over the mountains. And we got married, and we were living in Driggs, just looking for a house, to be honest with you. And a friend, for some reason, he just felt like he needed to show us this like chunk of land. We own 42 acres here, kind of up against the Teton mountain range. And he was like, I know you're not looking for a farm, but I feel like I need to show you this. And it was like, when we came here, it just felt peaceful. Like, this is where we're supposed to be. So we bought it and started building a house, and that was in 2015. And as soon as the house was done, my husband and I were just talking about it, like, okay, how can we utilize this land to the best of our ability? And I still wanted to work, but still have flexible hours because I wanted to be a mom. And so it kind of just fell into place of, let's grow flowers. Like, we can do this. And now I was pregnant when I started it. It was a very small operation. Our first couple of years, we grew dahlias and flowers in like 5-gallon pots because we didn't have like a good setup yet. And we have just grown. Now we grow in 2 greenhouses and an outside area. It takes up about half an acre of our farm here.
Wow.
You mentioned you were selling them in 5-gallon buckets. What are you doing now to sell your flowers?
Yeah, so now I have florists that I work with doing the big weddings in Jackson, the big like destination weddings. So I sell majority to them. And then I sell to Whole Foods in Jackson, like bunches of flowers and things like that. So most of my stuff ends up in Jackson.
Mm-hmm. So when you first started growing and you're like, yeah, we can do this. I mean, you're of course dealing with weather, but then figuring out how to market those flowers. How did those opportunities come? Did you have to go pound the pavement and make those connections? And then how was that grown from where it started to where it is now?
Yeah, so this is actually kind of embarrassing to say. But our first year when we were growing, we made this little like booklet with like pictures of all the flowers I was growing and all of that. And I went around and like passed them out to florists and to people I thought might be interested in buying them. But when push came to shove, where people found me was actually Instagram. One person, a florist, found me like my second year, and she started posting about my flowers, and then it just like kind of snowballed from there. And yeah, social media was actually the selling point.
Super cool. Yeah.
Can you take me through like a typical day of a flower grower?
Yeah. So, once the plants are big enough and flowers are blooming, you have to harvest when it's cooler during the day. So I'm usually out in my greenhouse harvesting around 5:30. And like we grow all the way into October. So in October it's dark. So I'll turn my lights on and I have like a headlamp that I'll wear, because it's just hard to do it later in the morning with my kids around. So I'll do the harvesting, cutting the flowers, stripping them down, putting them in buckets, and then we have like a walk-in cooler. We like to leave our flowers in the walk-in cooler for at least 24 hours to kind of help hydrate and kind of boost them up. So I'll harvest for a few hours and then I take a break to go take care of kiddos when they wake up and they're ready. And then it's a lot of bunching flowers, putting orders together, doing mixed bouquets for like Whole Foods and things like that. And then a lot of the day is like weeding, deadheading, getting all the down and dirty stuff. And then usually once I put kids to bed, I'll go back out and finish putting orders together, harvesting any more that I need to when it's cooled down at night. So it's a lot of early mornings and then late nights for me. But yeah.
That sounds pretty labor intensive. Like, it sounds like your kids are a little bit younger. Are they able to help you out very much, or is this mainly you and your husband going at it?
They're still younger. My oldest is 7.5, and then I have a 6-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. So they like to help. Sometimes
For
it's
those
not
of you
helpful.
listening on the podcast, she did quotations with her fingers during the help portion.
Yeah, they love to weed, and sometimes when the plants are small, that doesn't always work out in our favor. But my 7-year-old loves to strip flowers and put them in water, and they try. They love to wash buckets and stuff. We do have an employee who helps, and then my husband is the best, and he helps after his full-time job. So, yeah.
Family, it's a team effort for sure.
Yeah. What are some of the hard parts that, me as a guy that's never run a family or a flower farm, what's something that I would have never thought of that you have to deal with?
Sometimes it's really hard to judge. Like if a florist contacts me and says, "Oh, I have this event, I need these colors," she'll send like a color palette, and I'll say, "Okay, I have these flowers." It's really hard to judge sometimes if they're going to be open for that specific day. I know about how long it takes from a certain bud stage to when I can harvest that flower. But if I tell her like, "Oh, I can have these ready," and then, I tell her that weeks ahead of time or months ahead of time. And then when it comes closer, if we have a few cloudy days or some rainy days or things like that, the blooms just don't open as fast. And so it's just kind of a tricky balance of trying to figure out exactly when these flowers are going to be perfect to harvest and sell and get out the door, is one thing. And then the other thing is obviously just the weather. We can only do so much. It's out of our hands sometimes. So
Follow up to that.
Yeah.
Can you adjust how fast they open up? Like, do you leave the lights on for an extra couple hours? Does that help, or is it all up to nature?
So I don't have grow lights in my greenhouse. So no, I can close the greenhouse. Like if we get a chilly day in the fall or something like that, and I need those to get going, heat will help, but a lot of the time it's just like sunlight. So yeah.
Man, that's pretty insightful. That's something I've never even thought about, because not only are you growing the flowers, you're watering them, the weather, of course, but then also with these orders, you've got to time them up so that the customer is getting what they want on one of their most important days, like on the wedding,
day,
right?
Yeah.
That seems like there's a little
That's
bit
terrifying.
of pressure there. Yeah. It's a good way to put it. That is terrifying.
It's one of those, I always try to under promise and over deliver, because the other way around just isn't really an option. But yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, to put it lightly, that's tricky. Yeah. So Beth, I had the chance to go visit your flower farm and the greenhouses. One of the cool things that I learned about it is that you have a geothermal greenhouse. Could you just explain to our listeners what that is and what all that entails?
Yeah, of course. So our geothermal greenhouse is, it takes the heat from down in the earth, and we use the air. There, you can do geothermal with water or air, and we do air. So we dug basically a basement. It's 8 feet down, and we put these 4-inch perforated pipe with, it kind of looks like it has like a pantyhose on the outside so that the rocks and dirt can't get in it. And we put the pipes from north to south. So we have pipes on one side, on the east side, and then some on the west side. Then we filled rocks back in because Victor's super rocky. And then did that again. So all these pipes all these hoses are connected to these pipes on each side of my greenhouse. So there's 4 different pipes, and we have fans in there, so it transfers the air and rotates it. So in the summer, it kind of takes a hot air from the top of our greenhouse and rotates it through so that it cools the air. So if you stand by those pipes, cool air is blowing out. And then in the winter, because we plant in March in the greenhouse, which here we're still getting single-digit days, it takes the cool air and transfers it and makes it warm and blows out warm air so that it's more constant and just helps heat and control the temperature better.
Man, is that something that I'm sure that took a little bit of refinement, right? How did you guys come up with, let's turn this into a geothermal greenhouse?
So my mother-in-law actually has like a smaller one. She had done a ton of research and made hers, and then we kind of took her plan and tweaked it a little bit. And then my husband just did a ton of research on like the best way to do it. It definitely is more work building it because like I said, you have to dig the basement. Our greenhouse is like 40 by 60. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of work doing it, but it has paid off immensely.
Now, I don't want this to come off the wrong way. When I heard you had a geothermal, greenhouse, I thought it would be way more complex than just, running some pipes with pantyhose on them. Mm-hmm. That's really cool because in my head, I figured you ran 1,000 feet of pipe down, 80 feet down into the earth. Like that's really, really neat that it's as simple as it really is.
Yeah. So there are like connecting the hose pipes, the 4-inch hose. I think there was 4 connecting north to south. So there's 4 and then the 4 feet layer and then another 4 on each side. So there is more than one just to help disperse the air. But it honestly is a pretty simple setup. Yeah. And once it's been set up, we've never had to like mess with it. Like we built it in 2020 and I don't think we've touched it since.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
that's really neat.
Yeah. Self-sustaining and works really well, it sounds like. So, so Beth, you guys you're planting in March and you're still harvesting in October, mm-hmm. correct? Okay. So that's, a pretty good chunk of the year where you're working really, really hard. How many flowers? I mean, maybe you don't have a number. How many flowers are you growing? How many bouquets are you putting together? Like, how many weddings are you guys helping out with? Because that just seems like a lot of work in that amount of time.
It is. So, we are just barely starting. Our dahlias are just barely starting to open. So from March to now. There's like weeding things, planting the other greenhouses and planting outside. But now we're starting into our harvest stage of the farm. We have like 600 dahlia plants in my first greenhouse. And then I overdid it a little bit and planted, I think, 500 in my second greenhouse. Because, why not?
Why not? Right. Why not?
And then we have, other flowers as well. We like to have a good mix. So we're not just like, oh, we can just get dahlias there. So we grow cosmos and snapdragons and zinnias and greenery and all the things, sunflowers, and then perennials as well. So as far as stem count,
that's a lot is probably the right answer.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can, during my heavy season, I don't know about my other flowers, but my dahlias I sell every stem of dahlias. Whatever florists don't want, Whole Foods will take. So during my heavy season, which is usually July, August, September, I'm harvesting hundreds of dahlias a day, kind of thing. And I harvest 6 days a week. I take Sunday off. But they are prolific growers. It's pretty crazy.
Wow. You may have mentioned this, but does every flower start as a seed, or are you getting cutting, like, small plants from somewhere?
So we do a mix of both. I have found out I'm not a patient person when it comes to starting seeds. I love starting seeds in dirt, but then they're very needy with temperature, water, and all of that. So we start a few things by seed, and then we order in plugs. So they're like little baby plants, pretty small. And then we plant those as soon as we get them.
So you have, of course, your greenhouses, and you've got 40 acres there on the farm. Are you guys doing any other sort of maybe agritourism stuff? Do you have events there at the flower farm that you put on, things like that?
Yeah, so actually this is going to be our first year of doing that. We're very excited. We're doing like a cut-your-own-bouquet night. So we'll have there's certain days people can sign up, and they'll come here. I will teach them how to harvest the flowers, and then I have a florist friend who's going to teach them how to arrange the flowers, and then they get to take them home. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, sounds like the perfect date night, huh?
Oh, Cameron, that's just up the road from you as well.
Yeah.
Make sure Cameron gets an invite. He'll be there. Make sure Cameron's wife gets the invite.
Yeah,
then they'll be there for sure.
Exactly. Yep. She would absolutely love that. But that's pretty cool. So you're delving into having people on the farm and actually get to cut your own flowers and build your own bouquet. So super cool.
Beth, is one of the selling points of being a flower farm, everything smells good. Like, you feel bad for the dairy guys and the guys that have, 10,000 hogs, but then you go to a place like yours. Is it just lovely to walk in that greenhouse every morning?
I honestly think I'm the luckiest. Like, I can't think of a cooler job than what I have. It's so much work. It's tiring. But honestly, it's amazing to like be around all these beautiful flowers and to see them grow and the progress and all of that. It's just like such an it's not instant gratification because you have to wait months, but like you see all this hard work and like you get these beautiful blooms at the end, and it's just so gratifying and it's amazing.
So could you share with us maybe a really neat experience you've had, whether it's, supplying flowers for a wedding or an event? I think like I talked about earlier, those flowers, they, commemorate a milestone or a big event. Is there a cool experience you have where your flowers made a huge difference and just people were so excited about them? Is there one like that you could share with our listeners?
Yeah. So I have a florist who was doing an event in Jackson, and it was at the museum in Jackson. This was a few years ago, and she just wanted like local flowers. So she just got my flowers. I think it was mostly dahlias. And like to see those pictures and like see everyone like complimenting them and like just kind of how they changed the space from being beautiful, but then just like upping it. And it's just really cool. I get, since their weddings, I get a lot of professional pictures back of the flowers. And that's really cool too, be able to see like the bride hold like, oh my gosh, those are all my flowers. Like it's a really cool thing.
Man. Yeah. I bet that would be really gratifying.
Yeah. There's weddings that my wife still talks about the flowers from, and that was weddings from 5, 10, 15 years ago. Then you're like, yeah, they had really nice flowers there. We understand that, but it means a ton to some of the attendees and for sure to the bride.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not even sure if we had flowers at my wedding, but I'm sure we did, but I don't remember at all.
I would think your wife probably had some flowers.
We did.
There.
I think I think they were there.
But you're right. That wedding day is a blur.
Yeah.
It's a blur.
I'm not sure if I was there sometimes.
Hopefully there's a picture or two that documents
Yeah, there was a photo for sure.
Yeah. But no, that's really cool. Beth, so as you've started this, we have a lot of listeners who don't know anything about agriculture, or they're looking at maybe getting into it. What advice would you have for someone who is passionate about agriculture, isn't sure how to be involved or start within agriculture, because you've kind of built this thriving business from your hands, basically. So what advice would you have for someone who's just getting started, whether it's with a regular like any sort of commodity, or if they want to start their own fresh cut flower business? What advice would you have for them as they get started?
I would say you don't have to start like a huge flower farm. If it's something you're interested in, start small. Start with beds around your house, and even if you have like a vegetable garden, throw in some cut flowers. And the other thing would just be to don't give up. Like, there's a lot of times where I've planted something and it was a total flop. It just didn't work for whatever reason. Just try again. Try different seeds, or try a different spot in your garden, or try a different watering technique. There are so many little things that can make a big difference. And so just don't give up on it. Sometimes it just takes a couple tries, and then you're like, okay, I got this. I can do it. And it kind of builds that confidence. But you can start small and grow from there. So it's definitely doable for everyone, which is really cool.
Anything else?
No. So Beth, real fast, is there anything we didn't ask you before Ott asked the last question there? Is there anything we didn't cover that you're like, man, I'd love to talk about this? Because it's been awesome so far, really informative. So yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm going to ask the final question here. Beth, on the Dirt Road Discussion podcast, we always like to look down the road. You mentioned one idea of cut your own flowers, build your own bouquet night. What is, something else that you want to start on your flower farm?
I would just love to keep growing more, to be honest with you, so that I can provide more flowers for the people around us. Maybe something more, because I try to just do mostly wholesale right now. Maybe something more in retail, so that it doesn't just have to be big weddings. Every day people can enjoy my flowers as well.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, once again, we have been joined by Beth Brinkerhoff. Beth is the owner of Teton Flower Farm, located in Victor, Idaho. Beth, so if people want to come maybe build their own bouquet, or learn more about the flower farm, where can they find you at?
So my website has all that information. It's tetonflowerfarm.com.
Okay. Perfect. It sounds like Instagram too. Lots of people checking you out there. Okay. Perfect. Yep. So to learn more, go to tetonflowerfarm.com and go see all that Beth at Teton Flower. To see all that Beth is doing at Teton Flower Farm. It's a pretty cool website and a really unique operation you all have going on there. So, Beth, we have really enjoyed the conversation. We've learned a ton. I know I have about just flowers in general and all the work that you do. So we wish you the best moving forward, and I hope that harvest goes well here in the next little bit. So,
thank you so much. This has been so fun.
Awesome. Well, we'll wrap up yet another episode of Dirt Road Discussions, and we'll see you down the road.